So, is drop shipping allowed on Amazon or not? Here's exactly what Amazon says in their terms of service regarding drop shipping on their platform. Now, technically, Amazon only permits the use of wholesale suppliers where you are the seller of record on the invoice that's being shipped to the customer, okay? However, if you're not ready for wholesale, and a lot of beginners are not, obviously, you should at least opt for obscure retail suppliers, avoiding retail giants like Walmart, Home Depot, etc. As long as you're using retail suppliers that aren't recognizable and are smaller sites, you're typically 100% fine as long as you're keeping your seller metrics within the reasonable limits. This is typically what I recommend for beginners who don't have any experience with e-commerce or much money to get started, but eventually understand that the goal should be to move into wholesale dropshipping anyway, because this is actually an easier business model to understand on Amazon, and you'll have less competition and higher margins overall because you'll be competing against less sellers since the barrier to entry to selling is slightly higher. Now, while you might be tempted to use well-known retail suppliers like Walmart, Depot, Target, etc., or any other recognizable big box brand store, it's risky and could lead to issues down the line. Do not do it. It is not worth it. Trust me, and you'd much rather have the ability to continue to sell on Amazon rather than torpedo your seller account just for a few $1,000s in the beginning, but then you can't sell ever again anymore if your account goes down. The money will come. Start with the right approach and it'll pay off a lot faster than you think for sure, but you'll then also have a long-term business that continues to bring money in and month out. It's also essential to ensure that you've drop shipped items that match the product detail page on Amazon that your listing is 100%. Any discrepancies such as different variations, different colors, sizes, you name it, it can lead to customer dissatisfaction and potential issues down the line if it's reported. This isn't difficult, right? So don't get overwhelmed, but often these small things can be overlooked by beginners. So as a rule of thumb, just be extra meticulous when making sure that the product you're listing matches the detail page exactly. Always double, triple, or even quadruple check between the product that you're drop shipping and the product that you're listing against on Amazon. Check that it's the same quantity, right? Not a multi-pack. It's not an 8-pack and you're buying like a 3-pack or a 1, right? Check that the product numbers match up and that all the descriptive information matches up as well, right? Literally do a search. If there's a certain number on one of the listings on your supplier or a certain number with like lettering on, the Amazon listing, do a search on the other page for that number and see if you can find it. That's one of the easiest and most surefire ways. Now, you'll be fine as long as you're paying attention and as long as you're doing a meticulous job of checking each listing. But I want to hit that home because a lot of beginners assume products are the same just because they might look the same in the product picture without 100% checking. Don't assume, always check. Long-term, wholesale suppliers are preferable, obviously, like I said, because they establish a direct relationship with you and you can provide documentation without conflicting branding on the invoice, right? And that's what I was referring to when Amazon's saying you need to be the seller of record on the invoice. Now, remember, with FBM or fulfilled by merchant, which is what you'll be listing under since you'll be drop shipping, that means that you're responsible for customer service, returns, and refunds, right? Not just shipping to the customer, or in this case, marking it shipped with the tracking number, since again, we're drop shipping. You still need to focus on customer service if you get a message. You still need to handle a return here and there, and that's totally fine. We'll cover all that and more, so don't worry. But it's just a reminder, there is a ton of opportunity with this if you do it right. But again, you need to understand full-heartedly whether it's allowed on Amazon. But again, you need to understand how to actually do it properly on the Amazon platform.